Grand Rising, my lovely butterflies. This is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video. And if you enjoy the content, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Welcome and welcome back, guys. I pray that you all are continuing to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I pray that everyone is doing what they set out to do in the beginning of this year of 2024. I really appreciate all the love and support that I have been getting from you guys. And guys, at this point, I'm trying to come with consistent content, great content at that. And I can't do this without you guys. You guys are a great support. You guys are very inspiring to me. And with that being said, I would like to give a special shout out to one of my great supporters by the name of Derek Jackson. It follows. Thank you very much for requesting this topic for me to shed light on today. And with that being said, I would also like to add that this is a very, very interesting topic. And this is a very important topic to touch on, especially in these times of spiritual warfare and people being targeted for whatever the reason may be. Before I get into this video, I would like to give a shout out to my credible sources: skysnack.com, powerdemark.com, TikTok, and openbibleinfo.com. Guys, you can tell by the title of this video, I will be talking about honey traps, gang stalking and targeting, blackmail, and enabled crime. We are all living in the times of spiritual warfare, and the Most High and His angels are at war every day to ensure our safety from the enemy. The enemy is full of trickery and deceit, and he operates through other demonic spirits as a means of deception. Those demons that he inhabits to attack us are the same demons that we battle every day as humans. Satan monitors mankind very closely, guys. He knows our strengths. He knows our weaknesses. And the weaknesses are what he uses against us majority of the time during spiritual warfare. They're usually our weaknesses, the things that tempt us. And they most commonly revolve around the 7 deadly sins. Today, I want to discuss the spirit of lust, which, according to my research, is considered as the 3rd deadly sin. Other than pride, I feel that this sin is one of the main weapons that the enemy uses against many in our society. The spirit of lust operates around a strong sexual desire or urge to be intimately involved with someone, which has led many to go out on countless yet risky pursuits just to have a encounter with someone that they find attractive. And guys, you guys know what the S word means. I'm just trying to keep it YouTube friendly. But I feel that I just said the word, so we're just gonna continue on. Guys, in today's video, I will be discussing honey traps, or as some may call it, honey pots, and how they are being used to track, monitor, seduce, and deceive targeted individuals. Now, honey traps are based around specific techniques that involves using an attractive male or female to collect information for their own personal gains, which could be pertaining to monetary gain or a certain level of stature. It could also be a tactic used to manipulate others, which usually requires them leading targets into unfortunate situations. Now, their techniques usually involve them forming an intimate relationship with their target, seducing them with their charm, good looks, and advances as a distraction towards their true motives. Now, in most cases, honey traps are typically hired as an intelligence agent who adopts a false identity and is set out to spy on their targets, using their charm with looks or through an emotional connection. So it's not all about the looks, guys, that determines the characteristics of a honey trap. They can also be very charming, and they can draw you in through great conversation, in an attempt to form an emotional connection with you. By sharing something personal about themselves, hoping that you will also open up and begin to share your personal information with them as well. But keep in mind, with honey traps, the information that they share with you is usually not the true information about themselves. The relationship is then formed based off of trust and intimacy, which makes the target more prone to feel comfortable with the honey trap due to personal information they have shared with each other. Now, when it comes to the target in this situation, they have shared personal things about themselves due to a false emotional connection they feel that they have. And this is usually due to them being seduced by someone that they now feel close to. And it's just due to, to simple intimacy. And it's leading to them sharing secrets about their life and other situations. Now, when it comes to the honey trap, after the target has shared all of this information, because they are now in their feelings, due to being seduced and having an emotional and intimate connection with the honey trap, the honey trap will then give a fake made up version of their life to the target for the sole purpose of deceiving them, making them feel comfortable and relaxed in order to build a level of trust. And this is just so they can aim to destroy them. Now, various tactics are used by honey traps, which makes them number one candidates when it comes to being hired by secret handlers, satanic occult organizations, even street gangs, to lure victims into danger. They are also allegedly known to perform online scamming tactics, and one of which is blackmailing. Now, in some cases, honey traps are hired as attractive decoys by untrusting partners and spouses who has the strong urge that their partners are being unfaithful. And it's, it kind of makes you think about the MTV show Cheaters, even though the people aren't actually sent in as decoys, but they are actually being set up and recorded, and they're being exposed to their partners, for their secret life. Now, however, in most cases, the blackmail honey trap is when the victim is seduced into engaging in acts that was recorded, or they may have taken some compromising photos. Now, after this information is collected, they are then threatened by the honey trap to expose the photos if they do not meet a specific demand, or if a certain ransom isn't paid. Now, the victims of this type of scam are usually married, in a committed relationship, and well off financially. They could be targeted by an unknown handler that is aiming to destroy their relationship and their finances. It can be due to jealousy or other personal vendettas. Now, guys, some honey traps take a less revealing approach by creating fake online profiles where they post provocative images as a baiting tactic. When individuals are under the influence of the spirit of lust, which is also today known as the modern Jezebel spirit, they have no control over their desires and urges to romantically connect with someone that they find attractive. And this causes them to often take serious risks, attempting to meet people online and hooking up with them just because they are intrigued by a picture. And guys, this happens all the time. And in the case of honey trapping, the image that they are so intrigued with is usually heavily photoshopped, or it's usually a fake image. It's usually not even the person that they're talking to. And the honey trap does this to secure their real identity because they know their intentions aren't good. Some honey traps will use a fake profile to gain the trust of a lonely, fascinated victim by chatting with them for several hours a day, even for weeks and months at a time. After gaining trust, they may begin to give a fake sob story that leads to them asking their victim for money. They may continue to ask for money, promising the victim that they will eventually meet in person so they can spend time together. In reality, this is all a part of the tactic, giving the victim, false hopes while at the same time draining their bank account. And usually after being found out or they've collected their desired finances from the victim, they usually block them or delete their social media page, which is usually, in the case of honey trapping, a fake page to begin with. Now, guys, these things usually happens on social media websites such as Facebook, Instagram, and OnlyFans. Now, although men are used as honey traps, women are most commonly the depicted image when you picture a honey trap. This is because, no shade, guys, I'm just being honest. This is because men are known to be more vulnerable in the flesh when it comes to women. And this is why they are considered the biggest target and victims in these type of situations. And guys, this is no way, shape, or form to bash anyone. This video is actually because I care about my male supporters, and I want you guys to really be careful about the type of women that you engage with. And I also want you to spread awareness as well. Now, women know this. They know that you find them irresistible. We know this. We know how we can tempt men. Some women are just have pure, genuine hearts, and they choose not to do those type of things. And since everyone unfortunately does not possess a pure heart, it can result in many attractive women who intentionally use their looks to target and prey on undiscerned male victims who they know will actually fall for them. It says in chapter 5, verse 28, "But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart." And women know that as well. That's why a lot of women, when they plan to bait a man in, they will wear provocative, revealing clothing. They will seduce the man, anything to trigger, his lust for them in order to lure him in for their own personal intentions. Male targets, you must remember that when it comes to being monitored and harassed by handlers, gang stalkers, and monitoring spirits, they will stop at nothing to distract you. You have to use discernment, because the fact that there are many women in this world who are honey traps, it can very well be sent by the enemy to destroy you. Now, guys, I want to discuss some tactics in which honey traps are sent by the enemy. Now, I said sent by the enemy because anyone who sets someone up to be harassed, robbed, or tragically harmed is most certainly operating through a demonic spirit. And I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same. Now, they also operate off of lies, greed, and deceit, which enables them to premeditate malicious plots and schemes They may do this alone or accompanied by a friend or a partner. Now, guys, when it comes to honey traps and blackmailing, they like to build an emotional connection with their victim. They also like to go for victims who work a regular 9 to 5. You know, they're moderately dressed. They have a regular car. They're not real flashy type of people. Now, honey traps usually base their tactics around several possible motive strategies. They usually base their attacks around several possible motive strategies and tactics. Now, when money is involved, they usually go for victims who appear flashy. Now, pay attention to this, guys. Now, they may, they may attract to the person that is flashy that they may come across out in public or on social media platforms. And, there's a lot of, people who take pictures and they flash money, they flash jewelry, they show off their nice, materialistic possessions. And they do this to impress people, not knowing that they may be attracting a predator. Now, their attention is also drawn to targets who are well dressed, wear a lot of expensive looking jewelry, and, may have nice cars. And other possible motives could include them being used by occult organizations to complete a sacrifice ritual. And guys, I hope this doesn't sound too far-fetched, because, anything is possible when it comes to these type of people. They can also be hired by gang stalking programs to monitor you and to lead you into unfortunate situations without your acknowledgement. They could also, guys, be used in human trafficking scheme operations where they too are victims themselves and are being used to go out and set up other individuals. They also could be sent in by a mutual friend, a boyfriend, a spouse, or a rival gang to set their victims up. This is to either have them robbed, tragically harmed, and in most cases, both. Guys, with that being said, I have some clips I want to share with you. One of which talks about an incident that occurred May 2023, where two women, they were very young women at that, by the age of 20, accused of tragically harming a man inside of a Las Vegas Strip hotel. And the other clip I would like to share with you involves a teenage girl who lured a secret love interest to his demise by the hands of her boyfriend. Check these clips out, guys, and I'll be right back.
And a man found murdered in a room at a Las Vegas Strip resort.
Tonight, the two women accused of killing him facing the judge now for the first time. 8 News Now reporter Victoria Saha joining us live from Caesars, where this happened, with who the victim is and the women behind bars.
Yeah, Brian and Denise, still so many questions tonight as to what led up to the shooting, but what we do know is that the man who was killed had invited the two women up to his room right before being shot. 20-year-old Erica Covington and Ariana Taylor both making their first appearance in court Wednesday, both with a somber look, much different from the mug shots that were taken of them just hours after their arrest. Police say 25-year-old Ryan Altamirano Serrano was found shot in a hotel room by housekeeping about 11:30 Monday morning. Police tell us so far their investigation is leading them to believe Altamirano Serrano went to his hotel room with Covington and Taylor. The two women later left his room with some of his personal belongings. They were arrested by the Criminal Apprehension Team and booked into the Clark County Detention Center early Wednesday. The two women do remain in jail tonight without bail, and they will be back in court on Monday. Both of their family members were actually present in the courtroom, but they declined an interview. Reporting live near Caesars tonight, Victoria Saha, 8 News Now.
Victoria, thank you.
Blessings, everyone. Welcome to another story time with Kanita, where I tell true crime stories and Bible stories. Today will be a true crime story. Now, today is the case of Shakilis Townsend. Now, in 2009, Shakilis Townsend, he was 16 years old. He had met a young lady. Her name was Samantha Joseph. And he had fallen head over heels over her. He was love struck by this young lady. Now, Shakilis was so love struck over this young lady, he even came home and told his mother that he was going to marry her one day. I know they're young, but that's that teenage love, right? Innocent enough on his part. Now, unbeknownst to Shakilis, Samantha was actually seeing another man. His name was Danny McLean. He was an 18-year-old thug. He was a gangster. He was the leader of a gang called Shine My Nine. This was in South London at the time. And so she was two-timing her boyfriend, which was Danny, with Shakilis. Now, when Danny found out that Samantha was cheating on him, he did dump her, but she was obsessed with this thug. And so she was so obsessed with him that she was prepared to do anything that he wanted her to do to get him back. Now, that type of obsession had sealed Shakilis' fate. On July 3rd, 2009, you can see Shakilis and you can see Samantha Joseph here on this bus. She was supposed to be taking him to see one of her cousins, so he was along with the ride for her. Now, you see her that she's sitting here on her phone. She was on her phone because she was telling Danny their every move, every stop they made, because she was setting a trap for him to be confronted by Danny. Now, as they got off the bus, they rounded the corner into a cul-de-sac, and Samantha had delivered her boyfriend, Shakilis, into the hands of her boyfriend, Danny McLean, and his gang. This is Danny McLean. He was the leader of the gang, and it was a gang of 6, and the gang was called Shine My Nine. As Samantha walked away laughing, these men had beat up Shakilis. They beat him up with baseball bats, and then they stabbed him 6 times, leaving him for dead there in the cul-de-sac. He was chased away by the neighbors that lived in that cul-de-sac. Now, as poor Shakilis lay on that ground, dying and bleeding to death, he was sobbing, and he said, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, I don't want to die." Now, sadly, Shakilis did die on July the 4th, 2009. Now, Samantha went home and she wiped her Bebo account. I guess it's some type of messaging account, and to get rid of any link that she had between her and Shakilis. Now, she was arrested. She got 10 years in prison. Now, Danny and the rest of this filthy gang got anywhere between 12 and 15 years. In 2019, Samantha Joseph was released from prison and she was deported back to Trinidad, where she was originally from. Now, I feel she should have got more time because she lured this young man to his death and he was innocent in the whole situation. There's a movie about this.
Guys, the real dangers that comes with honey traps is to trust them. The prey of a honey trap is usually too intrigued or eager to have a good time to discern anything going on around them. In accordance to the first clip, this is where the dangers of building an emotional connection comes to play. They try and offer you alcoholic drinks to get you to loosen up more, which leads to many victims being drugged to the point to where they are too sedated to discern and protect themselves. Many victims have waken up abandoned in strange locations and stripped of all of their possessions, even their vehicles. Butterflies, we must remember that it is very important to never get so comfortable with getting intoxicated with certain people, especially when meeting them for the first time. Never, never leave your cup unattended around someone. And also, never ever let someone else make you a drink. Guys, in this dark world that we live in, where people are caught up in their own worldly desires, it is very important to know that the people around you should be closely evaluated. And this will help you to discern what type of people they are and their intentions for being in your life. For example, if you meet someone and all they talk about is money and materialistic things, 9 times out of 10, they are greedy, money hungry people, and that's the type of mentality that they possess. And they may also be capable of going through some desperate measures to obtain it. Satan loves control. So when he monitors us and studies us, the things that he notices that we fall weak to, it could be things such as food, drugs, lust, money, companionship, vanity, etc. That's what he's going to use to attack us with. If any of you have a hard time controlling your flesh when it comes to being, attracted to someone, and you find yourself not being able to control yourself in an S matter, just always know that self-control and discernment are the 2 main weapons when dealing with this type of spirit. And discipline as well. Before you approach a person that you may find yourself attracted to, or if they approach you, it can be on social media, it can be in person. Pray for discernment and trust your gut, which is your intuition. If it doesn't feel right, I don't care how attractive they are, how good the conversation is that you're having with this person. If your intuition, if your gut is telling you that it's not right, don't think twice. Avoid the encounter. Now, for some who are majorly battling with this spirit, it may be hard to reject someone that they're extremely attracted to. We're just being honest here. But just know that it's very important to be set apart and not to fall for worldly schemes of the wicked. Because if he knows that you fall weak for an attractive person, that's who he's going to use. And we have to think about everything spiritually, even ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves and recognize our weaknesses as well. So if you know that you fall weak for attractive people, you have to understand that it's possible that the enemy, it's not even possible, it's true. The enemy's going to, possibly use an attractive person to lure you into something unfortunate. Now, does this mean every attractive person that you meet is someone sent by the enemy to lead you into unfortunate mishaps? No, it does not. No, it does not. That's why it's important to have discernment so you can determine who you're dealing with. And also think about how you meet a person, where you meet a person. If you meet them in a club, if you meet them, think about the places that you may meet a person. And it can also determine some things as well. Not to be judgmental, but I think you guys know where I'm coming from. Also, guys, watch out for suspicious behavior. Like a person asking you to go somewhere where you two can be alone and you've just met them, and they're automatically suggesting that they go to your place or an hotel. And they may also ask you if they can invite a friend. Now, guys, this is a red flag. A lot of you may be thinking, a lot of people who possess a lack of discernment, when these type of opportunities present themselves, they may see it as a fun time. They may see it as, them gaining some type of, popularity or connection with someone that they are intrigued by. Mature adults don't invite friends on dates, especially when they first requested a long time with you. This could be a potential setup for a robbery or other harmful situation to, intentionally aiming to put your life at risk. Also, if it's someone that you may know, it could be a close friend, it could be someone you were in a relationship with, or it could be someone that you had on the side. If you were cheating on your partner and you just had a bad confrontation with that person, to the point where you feel that you should take a long break with that person, either that or never talk again, because things were said, threats were made, and you felt deep down in your heart that it will be risky to further be around them. Now, if they call you asking to meet up and talk, don't go. This could be a possible setup, to get you harmed, to put you in a compromising situation where you can possibly also harm someone else. Because these things can also, go both ways. Also, guys, be careful for a lot of the online honey trap scams. Never go on an unknown dating site, especially the ones that appear in your spam emails. It could possibly place a virus on your computer. Now, this is a tactic used by cyber stalkers, often disguised as honey traps, to illegally obtain your private information. Also, guys, never respond to fraudulent email that contains a link in your inbox. And these are scams that are used to obtain private info as well, such as your social security number, your address, and banking information. Guys, 1 John chapter 2 verses 15 through 17 says, "Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and pride of life, is not from the Father, but is from the world. And the world is passing away along with its desires, but whoever does the will of God abides forever." And guys, we must always remember that anything of this world is not through the will of God. Lusting for someone is not through the will of God. Going through risky pursuits in order to be intimate with someone, especially someone that you barely know, that's not the will of God. If anyone is finding themselves battling with the uncontrollable spirit of lust, and you feel that the spirit may be leading you into some unfortunate mishaps, this video is confirmation that it is time to refrain from sharing your energy with everyone. Begin to evaluate people from a spiritual standpoint instead of a worldly standpoint, because these things can cause you to become led astray from God. Begin to ask people questions. Ask them if they are God-fearing. A lot of people, ask people how much money do they make? Where do they work? Things like that. I feel that asking people about their relationship with God now is a very important question that needs to be asked. Because at this point in time, there is no in between. If you are not with God, you are with the enemy. You can have a great heart. You can even, be a believer of the Most High. But if you are caught up in worldly things, you are caught up in some sort of demonic spirit. Because the enemy attaches himself to this world. The world is his playground. So just always keep that in mind, guys. always know that your life is more important than any worldly pleasure or desire that your flesh may be trying to lead you into. It's not worth it. Don't be so hung up on having company, always having to have someone around, of the opposite sex, or anyone that you may be interested in. Learn how to spend time with the Most High. You don't have to always have romantic encounters with people just to fill that void, because it doesn't fill that void. All it does is just add more spiritual toxicity to your body. Because when people come into our lives that are not of God and we share our energy with them, we begin to become one with that person, and we begin to encounter and feel the things that they feel, even from a mental, physical, and spiritual standpoint. So guys, it's very important who we spend our time with, who we give our energy to, our bodies to. It's very important. Just know that you are important, and look at yourself as a very valuable asset that does not need to be shared with everyone, because everyone doesn't deserve your time nor energy, especially when you decide to walk with the Most High. And you may look at this person deep down and you may know that they're not walking with the Most High, but you're just attracted to them. That's not good enough. Just always remember, guys, spiritual standpoint, which is the godly standpoint, over worldly desires, okay? I love you guys so much. I really hope that this video helped someone. Guys, I will be dropping continuous content. I have so many things that I need to share with you guys. I feel that I have a lot of downloads from the Most High that have come to me during my spiritual journey that I would like to share with you guys. So please be on the lookout for that. If any of you guys have any video requests, don't hesitate to drop them down in the comment section below. I'm always watching. I'm always reading comments. I'm always responding. And I have no problem with answering your video requests. I feel that it keeps us communicating. It keeps everything circulating, keeps us in the algorithm. Yeah, and it keeps everybody entertained, interested, and aware. So, yeah, I really appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been giving me. I love you guys so much, guys. We are on the road to 1,000 supporters. I'm very excited. We're growing as a community. We're all learning together. We're all becoming aware, and we're all spreading awareness. And believe it or not, we are all doing God's will when we do that. So with that being said, continue to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love you guys so much. And until the next video, peace and blessings. Mwah.